Do one more big breath. Okay. The moment you get pregnant, you start thinking about everything for that baby. My husband and I got married in 2014. Right after that year, we got pregnant within 4 months. And it was probably right at 6 weeks, and I started to spot and ended up miscarrying. And we were just devastated. Just totally, grief I've never felt. The second one, I knew it was happening. Like, I just knew. I was like, honey, this is happening. We got pregnant again for our third time. I was nervous, but I was excited. The baby was developing properly and got to hear the heartbeat on the Doppler. Everything couldn't have been more perfect. We were gonna have our appointment on Monday after Thanksgiving. We were at 19 weeks, you know, you're thinking, we're good. And I started to spot that weekend. We were just like, this isn't supposed to happen now. And I called the doctor and they were like, it could be nothing, just monitor it. And when we went in Monday morning, there was no heartbeat. We have an unfinished nursery right now. And it's just half painted. And I walk by that room knowing there's supposed to be a baby there.
At 18 weeks pregnant, my husband Ryan and I went in for our anatomy scan. Patrick, our son, was diagnosed with anencephaly, which is when the brain and skull do not fully form.
It was a waterfall of emotions and questions that started immediately. Who do we tell? How do we tell? How do we explain something that we don't even know how to explain? And then we were left with the question of what's next. Heather, made a decision early on to celebrate Patrick's journey through the pregnancy in our family. Every doctor's appointment was celebrated, every milestone was celebrated, trips to the beach were celebrated. It felt like it was forever, also felt like an instant.
We were just going to make every moment special for him. So on July 27, 2017, we gave birth at 6:15 to Patrick. He was 3.5 pounds, and he lived for about
5 minutes.
About 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful, and I felt like we celebrated every moment that we possibly could with him.
It just brought up all of these memories and emotions, and I knew I needed to be in some sort of group that I could talk to, because you can't do this alone. So it was a very good feeling of going somewhere very raw and being there, but knowing there was a group that understood me. It felt like a family I never had. It felt like everyone was there, unfortunately for the same reason, but understood you, and you didn't have to go into great detail to feel loved and understood and accepted.
But one of the things that, touched me personally was the gifts that were made for our daughters.
Oh. In the sibling gift we received, there were blankets and teddy bears and a book which we read to our girls every night and tell them, baby Patrick is going to be an angel, and that's okay. And it's okay to be sad about it. And I struggled with if we would bring them to the hospital. And I thought, because of the way that he looked, if that was going to scare them.
One of the things that was widely discussed, the need to have some sort of head covering cap, something like that.
We had the sibling gift, and it had a bear with a little cap on it, and the cap was the perfect size for Patrick, and it was after delivery, and we had a couple minutes to ourselves, and then we brought our families in. Ellie and Abby just came right over to us and looked at their baby brother, and I remember Ellie saying, "He's just so cute. I love him so much." And it was that moment that I just needed. It was her words that helped me through. It really was.
Community of Hope means a lot to me. I think that during my journey for motherhood, I have really felt that this group has embraced me and helped me heal.
I would say the most important thing from connecting with these women was someone who gets it.
These are people that we see at church, at the mall, out to eat, just around, and these are the people who are actually, affecting the change.
I'm hopeful that other women can find this group and this community and know that there are people out here wanting to support you and wanting to hold you and wanting to be mad with you, and that it's okay to cry, and it's also okay to not say anything at times when you come to these groups.
I think that there's something that's so important about this organization that just puts a whole different perspective on things that people generally don't feel comfortable with. And it's taking those uncomfortable moments and just bringing light to the fact that these are real people and these are real things that are happening.
What I find is when you don't talk about it, people don't talk about it. And it's a hard subject to talk about. I want people to know that this does happen, and it happens to your sister or your best friend. It meant a lot to me when I would just get a random text from someone that said, "Hey, I'm just thinking of you." And even if you're afraid to send that text and you don't want to bring someone's memories up, it's okay to send it. They'll appreciate it. That's what I can say.
It's on my mind all the time, so even though I'm crying now, it's still nice that someone is recognizing and acknowledging my child. The Still Remembered project really made me realize how important it is for a grieving process, but also to recognize that my baby is a part of our family. However we want to choose to celebrate our child is okay.
At our 14-week appointment, we were able to record the baby's heartbeat. I still sometimes like to listen to it and know that it was there.